Watch!
And we're back.
We are. I don't think I like the countdown. I don't know if I'm going to use it again. Welcome back, everybody. It's a new toy. I had to play with it. I'm already in my cups. Whatever. Gary, I'm glad to be back.
Welcome home. Welcome back.
I know.
I'm glad you're back. In fact, nobody is more glad you're back than me.
Yeah. I mean, I have my list of news, but I think the biggest news here is that you and Brian didn't burn down the studio while I was gone.
No,
you guys did well. No, because I was just going to jump in the chat just a few minutes to make sure everything was okay in case you needed anything. But I liked the conversation. I stuck around for almost an hour. But I thought it was good. I thought it was a good show last week. I did end up watching the last half hour, 45 minutes. So with that said, I do want to give a shout out to Dan, the final arbiter.
Actually, I personally want to say thank you to Dan for coming in for that last 45 minutes or so. Talking about OSE. That was a lot of fun, and I was just running out of shit to say to Brian. So that's just the way that works.
Well, I mean, he added a lot to the show, and I thought that was really nice of him to do that with almost zero notice. So, Dan, thank you. That was great. But I thought you guys had a great show last week. So,
well, thank you very much.
And I thought the chat was great. As always, glad to see everybody here. I'm seeing Chubby. I'm seeing Cam. No One of Consequence. Meyer Trumpet. Warp Plots. I know I saw a Paladin in there, and our boy Grim Games, who's been busy all week finishing up his zine. Before we get Robin, there's a few pieces of news. Some, I don't know, stuff we got to just quickly get over with. We talked to Dean Lucius who wrote Zombie Rain. There's a video out. Go check it out. Technobabble, there he is. Go check out the Zombie Rain video. It was a fun conversation. I think it's a cool game. I played it. You can go check the actual play over at Fox of RPG's channel. Cool zombie survival game. The PDF and all that is over at Drive-Thru. Next week, I'm going to be on Legion of Myth. I can't remember what we're talking about, but it has something to do with overland travel. Related to last week's show, I wanted to give a shout out to Howling Sphinx. He had a really awesome comment on last week's show. Really appreciated it. I'm appreciate all of your support, frankly. Howling Sphinx, you're always giving some good comments. And next Thursday, I will be launching a Mothership campaign on Rumble. I have a few players. If you're interested, please, let me know in Discord and we'll get you in. But that's all I have. Gary, you have something, don't you?
What do I have? Yes, I do. So I've been running a Marvel game for a little while now, and we have finally gotten to a point where we're going to open things up to members. So anyway, if you go to Matt's server, Lord Mattias's Discord server link is in the notes or wherever Matt puts the link.
It's in the notes.
Probably in the next day or so, you are going to see there'll be Gary's server. It's going to be redone, and there will be places to sign up. Not exactly sure how we're structuring this yet because we're kind of going to do this open world superhero game. But once it's there, it'll be on the server. We'll have most details next week, but it will be set up at some point in the next few days. So if you want to play some Phase Rip, also, there's a really good chance we're not going to use Marvel Official. We might be going back to Heroic. Details forthcoming.
Sure, yeah.
All right, details forthcoming.
I can say we played this past Thursday, though, kind of like the, I don't know, prequel to this
sort of a prologue, I guess.
Prologue, yeah. And our team basically released all the villains into the world. So we're gonna need your help. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I love Face Rip, and frankly, Gary is the man to run it because he knows it almost backwards and forwards, and he more importantly he knows comic books. So I think it'll be a blast, and if it's something you're interested in, even if you've never played before, this is the game to get into.
I would agree with that. This is the game to get into. All right, that's all I've got. We need to get Rob on here.
Yes, we do.
Pull Rob in, please. Hello, darkness, my old friend. You again.
Should have wore a turtleneck. What was that?
Yeah, actually, my dogs are barking. Give me just a second.
Woo, woo, woo. Well, Rob, welcome back to the Second Watchman. You have some big news. Something I'm really excited about.
Oh, what's that? No. Oh yeah, I got a crowdfunding project launching. Another one of those. Yeah, it's exciting. I've been working really my butt off for the last 3 months getting ready for this. So I'm launching on Tuesday, September 8th, 11 a.m. Eastern. Right on Backer Kit, which is new. I usually do Kickstarter. Now I'm finally seeing the light because it is such a greater light. But anyway, it's exciting. I'm really excited. But there are a lot of big, awesome, really cool projects launching the same month I am. So there's actually some ones I'm going to go back. Yeah. So we got, I think One Ring is coming out with like a Gondor bestiary book or something like that. Looks really cool.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Free League's crowdfunding, it's really, they treat it like a pre-order, so I don't worry about that. It's because it's not like you're buying whatever it is like at a discount. So I realized that after I backed their first One Ring thing. The only thing I got was like a special cover or whatever. So after that, I'm just like, I'll just wait till the book's available. Fuck it. So I don't even worry about Free League's so-called crowdfunding. But yeah, there's a lot coming out. I have
he's got some setting. Yeah, I think he's the only OSR that I've seen. The only OSR campaign that's launching in the time frame, and we're launching the same day, like I think like an hour apart.
Oh, really?
But I'm gonna back his project because I'm a huge Finch fan. So I got all of his Swords of Wizardry books right over there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, there's also we're gonna end up talking about this when Chubby's on the show in a couple weeks. But there's a big 2027 is going to be a really big year for Dark Sun. I'll just leave it at that. A lot of stuff's going on with that.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. Raji just released, this is not a crowdfunding thing, but Raji just released this year's releases. The Lost Carcosa slipcase sold out in 14 hours.
Wow.
It's like, how did he describe it? Bowel-movingly expensive.
It was. Yeah, he was very aware of the price tag he had put on it. He knew. Yeah,
I have some explaining to do with my wife. Yeah. But hey, it's a collector's item, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, that wouldn't make anything better around here. But it's a collector. Oh, so it's gonna sit
that's all she hears.
Exactly.
Peanuts.
Yep.
Oh, we got super chat from Paladin Force. Hey man, thank you very much. Hey Rob, Gary, Matt, and chat. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Chancellor, what's up, man? So yeah, your thing starts on the 8th.
Yep, Tuesday, right after Labor Day.
It is the Overlords of Steel.
Yeah.
I love that freaking cover, dude. All right, the cover and the name. Like I feel like I should listen to Manowar while reading your book or some other like power metal band or something. It's just such a rockin' cover.
It's just been sitting there chewing on it. I had art for this book made while I was finishing volume 1 of Gods of Forbidden North because
really?
Yeah, because it was only supposed to be one book.
Right.
So this is a project long in the making. It keeps getting shelved and then returning and then nope, go back. But here it is. Gary Trout's working. He's doing all the art. It's all full color. I'm going plaid. Yeah, warp speed. Right? No, like totally going to the next level. So this is gonna be fun. And I'm of course it's only gonna be one book, no trilogies, no more of that.
That's what
No
you say
more of
now.
that. Nope.
That is
nope.
what you.
Nope.
Well,
Capping that sucker off.
For our viewers that don't know, what's the general overall? Give us the pitch. Tell us what you want to tell us. What?
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, is it related to Gods of the Forbidden North? Yeah. Is it? Where does it fit into your other work? How big is it going to be compared to your other? What are we looking at here? Give us the spiel.
It's going to be, first off, it's a complete OSC BX compatible, really any OSR game, right? Because they're all compatible BX. Mm-hmm. It's a complete campaign designed for OSC. I'm using the new players book and referees book that Necrotic Gnome just released as sort of like the new standard. I was using the rules tomb or whatever it's called. They had like 5 different names. The rules tomb. That was the one I was using for the last one when I was designing it. But this time I'm going to use the players book and the referees book, the 2026 update that they just released, which looks really great. And I got the PDFs already, so excited by that physical book when it comes out. It'll be fun. But I'm going to use that as sort of like the chassis, the foundation of it. And, it's not like hugely different for those, of course, that were here last week or listening to Dan or seeing Dan's awesome video on it, which I watched him and
RPG Grandpa.
Yeah, RPG Grandpa, right. The 2 videos they did. I watched the preview one and then the later one they did with the deeper dive. And I think I watched part of the Demonic Grimoire one too. So it's exciting to see OSC kind of like, Gavin got finally wrapped up. Delvin Wood was able to come back and really get things going. That's really exciting. And there's a lot going on with Necrotic Gnome too. So what I'm bringing to the table to kind of keep OSC going, because I love OSC, is my Overlords of Steel mega adventure. It's another mega adventure, but it's going to be one book. It's going to be right now $450. It could creep up to 500 because that happens, but I'm not going to go over one book this time, but it's going to be one book. It's going to be completely packed with enough to take you all the way up to the max 14th level in OSC. And it's no longer in the North, but it's in the same world as Gods of the Forbidden North. So there will be more lore that is, sort of adjacent to lore that was already there, but it's going to be kind of a new part of the world and kind of just expanding the world. As I've said in other interviews, it's kind of like Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, where they do Skyrim versus Morrowind, but it's the same world. I'm kind of branching out and going to just expand the world, because a lot of people were saying, a lot of my fans and backers and friends were saying that they just want to see more of that world. They don't want to see other things I've done. That's what they want. So I was like, okay. And I already had this sitting there, it's been working on it, then moving away from it, coming back to it, working on it. It's like been this thing in the background that was kind of part of Gods of the Forbidden North originally, and then kind of broke off, when I realized what Gods really should be that long ago, right when I was kickstarting it. And so now it's going to be awesome. And it's taken everything I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years, and now I'm kind of doing a whole new product to bring all that to the table. So I'm real excited. It's going to be like kind of based on the Horn of Africa region. There's like the I don't know if you've seen that area with the sulfur springs, like the lull, the salt flats, and so it's got a hotter kind of feel to it, I guess, which was sort of unintentional. I wasn't trying to step on Dark Sun toes, but probably because I was trying to get away from the north.
So you went from one extreme to the next.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And it just so happens Wizards of the Coast is
I know. Yeah. I didn't.
And then Timothy Brown's like, fuck that. I'm going to try to revive my. And then Chubby's like, fuck that.
Right. Yeah. That was not intentional, but just sort of happened.
Before they get too far up the page, we got a couple questions.
Yep.
Dan asks, question for Rob. How much level drain should I expect Chubby to deploy on me in Overlords of Steel?
So I'm trying to play around with those types of mechanics. They're all going to be all new monsters again, just like last time. And so this time I'm trying to bring in newer mechanics that kind of I like to surprise players, like I've said before. Like I don't like them to know the monsters. I like to bring in new stuff. So my plan is you might see some of my Gods of the Forbidden North monsters make a return probably, but honestly, like I'm probably going to have a lot of new monsters to try to challenge players with and scare them. And but I'm trying to get away from the energy drain, at least the normal one per se. Not that I'm against it. I think it's fun. I like that mechanic, but I'm just trying to keep like things spicy, if that makes sense. Like it's just unpredictable. Like, what does this do? What is this doing to me? I always like that because I always play with older players and they're like, they know what's going on. Oh, he hit me with this. And they know immediately.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to know. I want them to get scared before and scared during and scared afterward because they're not sure if it's really gone. You know?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what was like the encounters in Morkal's Tomb with those Wayne rates. Because I was, I'm kind of a no prep player, and this is one of the things I love about Gods of the Mid-North. You can just sort of cursory have a rough understanding what's happening, and when your players go and do something, you're like, okay, and you can just run it. And so I'm like, oh, Wayne rates, okay. I'm like, oh, okay, these things can actually scare some players because it's like a one hit die creature that can do something like a level drain, but it's not exactly like level drain. I think there's like a save involved if my memory serves, but yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff like that in Gods of the North that I appreciate because it's kept my players on their toes. I don't know if I told you this, but they finally went to the Barrow of 8 at level 6. They were like so afraid of it, and it was kind of underwhelming for them because they were like prepared, from like a strength perspective. They're like, oh. They almost triggered the one major trap, but then they didn't, and they just sort of systematically taken care of it. But like everything they experienced leading up to that, like the name of the Barrow, some of the lore they understood of the Barrow, and they had like this misunderstanding, had them so terrified that they refused to go until they absolutely had to go. I thought that was kind of funny, and so afterwards they were like,
That's awesome.
They're like, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. Let's go take on the Yagasan. And I'm like, oh man, you guys are fucked. You guys are so fucked.
That worked out because you just set them up. We're like, oh, this stuff isn't so. Now they're boom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Got a question from Chubby. What have you learned over the past 4 to 5 years?
Don't do this. No. Absolutely nothing. nothing, dude. No, I learned way too much. I've talked a little bit more about that in other interviews, but like the business and what a lot of fans want, and really just how to put together. I mean, you look at it sometimes, you think, oh, it's easy, but it's really hard. It's really hard to do, and it's really hard to succeed. You see a lot of people who really deserve to do better than they do. And they don't just because there's a lot of names out there. There's a lot of competitors, and there's just not a lot of like ways to get noticed. It's really hard, and just stuff like that. It's just there's so much I could probably go into about things I learned, but I don't know. I guess a better question would be, what would you want to hear about? Like, what would you want to know about specifically? Like, is it about making the book itself or adventure writing? Like there's so many aspects.
Well, I have a question. What based on what you've heard from fans or people who have ran Gods of the Forbidden North, what's the one thing that you got from them that you were like, oh shit, yeah, you're right, I should do that? Or what's the lesson you learned from the people using it?
Oh wow, there's a lot of that too.
Pick one, Rob.
Pick one. Oh wow.
What you find? What made it from somebody telling you something and not just somebody saying, "Oh, you should do it like this," but like a real, actual. You know what? When I write Overlords of Steel, I'm gonna keep that in mind. That kind of thing.
I mean, I Okay, so I got a I don't know if I've
We
told
know
you.
you spend too much money on art. I'm talking about
No,
practical.
so I got like one of like I got an email from like a fan like maybe like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, who was from another country, and so this person had like used obviously like AI or something to help translate, right? But like I've never gotten a letter like that made me cry. Like her, I'm not gonna use her name, but her husband is like dying, and she like said that my book brought them closer together because they've been playing it, and he's like dying of cancer, and I mean, like I'm reading this, just probably like you're all listening to this, like what? Like where
fuck?
like yeah,
Wow.
no, right? That's not the typical email I get, and she was talking about like she saw all the influences that I'd woven in that many people have at least never said to me that they noticed. She was catching things that were really deep that I'd buried deep under the surface. And I was kind of blown away because I didn't think anyone would catch that stuff. And here she was talking about how she was hoping her husband would make it so they could see the end together.
Wow.
And it was like, yeah, I mean, and
That's some heavy shit, bro.
no, right. Yeah, right. I didn't respond right away because I was like, what do I say to that? I've never had, I've never had anyone write anything like that to me. And so I took a day or two to kind of what was, and then finally, I wrote back and really took a long like time to write a nice long letter back and discuss some of those influences and some of the things that she noticed and some of her questions and things like that. But I guess what my takeaway from it, to get to your question, Gary, was like, it seemed to me like, as much as I want to like tighten things up, like, do the trendy thing of like the minimalism and trying to trim down a lot of this stuff, like at the same time, I don't want to lose the part of my writing that I'm good at, that layer, that lore building, that world building, which seems to be a lot of people really appreciate all the emails I get, messages. A lot of them really, really enjoy that aspect of the writing. And so I'm trying to devise a way to pack just as much of that in before, while also really streamlining and making more efficient, more presentable to a referee and less daunting. That presentation without losing Rob Alderman style. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this, and I'll defend it to my last breath, but I think the world building in Gods of the North is great. Sure, I mean we can quibble about certain like presentation choices, I guess, but you lose something with that minimalist style. I think anyway. Some of the deep lore, those hidden things that you put in Gods of the North, excite me as a game master and makes me want to run the game. But it also, when my players get it, it helps translate the feel and actually helps with immersion. At one point, the de facto leader of the Iron Price, my buddy Dan, his monk Beisho, he's like, interacting with and learning some stuff. And all of a sudden he just kind of stops and looks at me and goes, I'm really starting to get some Big Trouble in Little China vibes here. And I go, uh-huh. And then, so now the memes amongst all of us are all related to that. And it got to the point where the magic user in the party, I can't remember his name because he's new. The last one died. But he learned haste. And so I sent a clip of when they're in the elevator and they're all like, hey, yeah, I feel kind of good. And I'm like, this is what happens when the magic user cast haste on you. And everyone's like, yup. So that's probably what's going to happen. They're going to get cast haste. And I'm like, yeah, I feel kind of good. Yeah. And then they're going to attack the tower, So I think that helps. That level of detail, I think, actually helps connect everyone to your world. And I think that is lost with like the sort of the minimalist. And plus, there's sort of like this generic sort of presentation with a lot of the minimalist stuff too. So I'm not afraid, and I challenge people who criticize the world builders. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's a hell of a story too, man. I hope that couple finishes your trilogy because that would be a great thing. So
yeah, I'm definitely. I wish them that that he would recover, and because there was. I think it sounded like there was still a chance, but they were starting to sound like they were accepting it the way she talked about. But I couldn't tell if that was the translation or just But I would love to hear the story about your. Let me know what happens in the tower because
that's gonna happen in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, it was pretty. I'll just give some. All right, so Beisho is a monk, and when they reach certain levels, they have to like challenge and win to go to the next level. So I started having some fun and coming up with like NPCs. So I love Kensai from the first edition AD&D Oriental Adventures book. So I made this female Kensai who's like a mercenary for the Yagasan, and she's like running, doing things, and so they're like having like this like back and forth, and then all of a sudden my buddy Dan starts emailing me these love haikus, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, I don't want to fight her. And I'm like, motherfucker, okay, fine. So he ends up wooing her, and then she tells them, you guys are planning on attacking the Yagasan. They're like, oh yeah, we got to get rid of him, blah blah blah. She goes, you do know he can't be harmed by mortal weapons, right? And they're all like, fuck, we got to go to the Barrow of 8 because we know there's an intelligent weapon in there. So it was very sword and sorcery. We have to go here.
That's great.
To get the sword to go kill the Yagasan. Now the dwarf Grimdall, he failed his ego check, and now he thinks he can take the Yagasan himself because he has Fracas. It's awesome. I cannot wait till next session. There's going to be some sad players, I feel. But anyway, Chubby's got to follow up. Cancer Talk is hard to follow, but what have you learned about communicating with reviewers and influencer types when you were on your media tours during a product launch? This is actually a very good question.
What have I learned? Just buying beer at North Texas, and
I have a feeling Gary and I are the exception to the rule. But,
no, honestly, like I really
no, buy me beer. I am not the exception to the rule. Buy me beer.
No, I'm saying buying us beer makes us the exception. Whatever. Okay.
I guess. Well, okay, so like, I mean, it depends on which ones you're talking about, because like, right, like you got like the Ben Milton type of that like higher level, right? Which honestly, I've never really communicated with that higher level. I've never, not once.
Have you ever thought of sending any of your books to him?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, no, yeah. You start thinking like, who would I target, and is it worth the effort, or is it? And now some of them like you can actually like pay for them to look at, and they don't necessarily buy their thoughts, but they'll try to fit it in their schedule, right? So like almost like advertising you pay for, but like and then they still will. They're saying, hey, it's not going to be favorable just because I do it, But usually at the time when I was thinking about that stuff back then, I was like, I don't make enough now to spend that kind of money to do it.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I didn't do it. But I mean, like I sent my first or second book, maybe both of them to Ben Milton. But he never, he never did it. So I assumed either he didn't like it or he was just like, I'm not reading that. I saw the page. He's like, no,
didn't send the envelope full of cash with the book, Rob. That's what happened.
I did.
If you'd have slid him a few C notes, say, hey, how's it going? Hey, throw something in the pocket. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. The other now, like, when you're more like our sphere of like reachable, attainable YouTubers, I tend to like, usually if you just reach out to them, they're looking for content. Half the time they want to talk to somebody. And if a lot of times I find that like half the time you reach out to them, they're excited about it. And then sometimes they'll come to you and they see your launch, or they see like you on this guy's show who they watch or they know. And it sort of becomes organic. So like one of the tricks that I do now is I try to schedule, and I try to be transparent. I'm not hiding anything, but I try to like I've got 4 interviews in the next few weeks, like this is the one that's sort of like the pre-launch interview. And then I've got 3 more. And I'm like, that's probably all I need, because if I make a certain amount of money and people start noticing that it's there, and I get on a couple of interviews, I start being everywhere, someone's going to reach out to me and ask me to come on. And then, you know, so it's sort of like you start anticipating that. So you kind of set it up before launch, you know, and then it comes back. And then like when your books start to come out, it's like another hype cycle. So your backers will get it. They'll start taking pictures of it and sharing it. And, you know, you'll retweet or whatever those. And then what you do is you'll start sending copies to certain reviewers that, you know, will have, you know, you give them time to watch it, so that you time it so that they come out, right when all your backers start showing off the new deluxe slipcase set, for example. And then the review, and it's like suddenly you're everywhere, and then people start to notice you, and then that draws attention. So that's kind of what you do, is like you play this game where it's like you're either they're reaching out to you or you reaching out to them, and everyone's sort of winning, you know. That's sort of like everyone's helping each other out. So, but everyone's been great, with maybe one exception I've had, which I won't name. but,
put in the chat.
Everyone's been great though, except for that. But yeah.
Your turn, Matt.
Well, I was just gonna say, I put it in chat. I'll say it publicly. I didn't know I could like Ben Milton less, but but whatever.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm here to make friends. Listen, I am here to make friends, and I think, look, I've heard some dirty rumors about there's a group of people who actually have what do you call it? I would representation. And that being the case, they're making more money, but the people representing them also got to make some money as well. So that's a whole other business that we're not a part of. I'm not going to hold that against anybody. How you make your money makes no difference to me, you know? But, you know, it's one of those things. Anyway, I still like your videos, Ben. Some of them. Most of them. I like a lot of them. All right, moving on.
I'll go on a rant.
No, I like Ben Milton. I do. I like him. I don't know him personally. I watch his videos from time to time, like everyone's. I mean, I think he does a great service to the OSR. You know, like he puts a big spotlight that a lot of people don't. You know, he has his taste. So, and I could tell you just off the bat, like when I sent it to him, I knew it was very unlikely I would get reviewed, because I don't write the way his tastes tend to be.
Oh yeah, Nave is like
yeah. So maybe maybe he was doing me a favor, because he's like, oh, I'd have to nick him on it. You know?
So, maybe.
I mean, you know, like,
yeah.
So I mean, I'm not bitter or anything about it. That's fine. I understand. He likes those small, short, like kind of a minimalist style in a certain presentation. He's very particular about what he likes. He even says it very bluntly on his site. So
yeah,
you know, it's no secret or anything like that. So I know, but like I said, some of them are all different. They all have their way of doing it. Obviously, someone on his scale, you know, they probably get a lot of email. You know what I mean? Like,
oh sure, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So you know, it's not a big deal. But yeah, no,
Diplomacy.
I feel like a lot of it's very organic. A lot of it, you know, you kind of just run into people like Erudite Mike, you know, like, you know, I kind of met him while we were at North Texas, I think through you guys, maybe like you guys were hanging with him, and, you know, now he wants to have me on, and, you know, like, it was like, that's a great example. I'm going to be on,
I also think that what we have going here is this really organic thing where if you really think about it, you've got a bunch of guys, most of us game together, right? And it's almost like a second part of the hobby. We tend to have our YouTube channels. And, you know, we have our servers where we're having games. I don't know that we are like our goal. Let me put it this way. My goal is not to become a YouTuber. I like talking to my friends about games, and occasionally I get some free shit, which, by the way, typically we do get a complimentary PDF.
That's true.
I just want you to know that, Rob. We typically get a complimentary PDF.
And we had to pay for yours. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Damn right you did. No.
Yeah. So what we have
dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah, so we kind of have, this cool thing going where we're all friends, we're all gaming together. And then you have, your sort of your periphery, and then it kind of goes out from there. And hopefully what we're doing is that the people who aren't in our immediate gaming circle are coming to our server or other servers, and they're creating these servers of their own, or creating these circles of their own that they're gaming in.
Yeah.
And because I think what we really are trying to do is just encourage gaming in general. Like, hey, these games are great. Go buy our friends' shit. This is really good.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
It's definitely a different scene. You can look on YouTube and there are people who look, I don't want their stress, man. There's a couple people I look at that are on YouTube a lot, and you can tell they make their living from it. And chasing the algorithm has got to hurt. Like, you look at some pictures, there's a certain YouTuber I'm thinking of who's a little cute, and you can see the age lines. You know what I mean? Like,
and
they're chasing it, and it's hard.
Damage looks like.
And it's hard. And it's hard. I don't want to live that life. I don't want to be, if I made a lot of money doing this, awesome. You know what I mean? That'd be great. But that's not the point. We're here. Really what it is I want to make friends with the people making games. So I get their shit for free. And
yeah.
But it is what it is, and I think what we have is really great. So anyway,
that's going on a shirt, Chubby.
Yeah, Matt. So, what do you think, Matt? Let me ask. What do you think?
Shit.
I guess the inverse. Like, is there something that maybe like wannabe or creators that are watching this should know? What do you think?
Oh, about being on YouTube and doing all this stuff,
coming on your show or whatever.
Yeah. Well, okay. As a guy who's like been like plugging along, writing stupid little things here and there, the YouTubing is a great way to break through the noise. So like, I think it was Chubby some time ago was talking to us. I can't remember if it was in like a chat
last week.
Well, no, about this thing I'm about to bring up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I don't remember when he did it. It was some time ago. It was either on the channel or in a chat, or maybe it was Zach North Texas Con, but he mentioned that like 10% of the stuff on drive-through hits copper seller status. And then it's like 5% to silver, blah, 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 blah. And then when you look at the stuff that's hitting copper, it's like decent, right? But it just goes to show you how much is out there, right? So there's a lot of noise. And I think YouTubing, and this is going actually to Howling Sphinx point to what you and Brian were talking about last week, Gary. YouTubing helps connect you with your potential audience so that like they trust you, and trust was a big thing that Howling Sphinx pointed out. Like he mentioned me and Chubby. He's like, Chubby's analysis, you see how he thinks about things, and he's like, you, Matt, I see how you review things, and I trust you. So when you like decide to write a thing, I believe it's going to be a decent thing. So I'm willing to put my money there. So I think the YouTubing is important. And if you're not going to be a YouTuber, because I wasn't intending to become a YouTuber. This was just me. Like,
it's my
honestly,
bad. I did it.
Well, years ago, I've discovered this thing called Lamentations of the Flame Princess and fell in love. And then this was in 2019 when the Zach apocalypse happened. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing that I love is about to die. And so I'm like, I'm going to create a YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about it. But that was just sort of like me supporting the indie scene. And that is still our mission here.
Which is hilarious. Sorry, I don't want to talk. Facebook. Holy crap, dude. Old boy came after you, didn't he? All right, let's go away.
Oh, you want to talk about Zach? Yeah. Zach's got issues.
He ain't got nothing good to say about anybody, bro.
No, he don't. We can talk about that. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Anyway.
Sorry, my bad.
So, but yeah, it wasn't my intention to be a YouTuber either. But like, it wasn't also my intention to do anything with this. Like, I just sort of came to this understanding, like talking to John, the basic expert, when I was hanging out with him for a while, like he was just sort of like, he wanted to do a thing, and YouTube has helped him break through. And then he started putting out these great products and stuff. He's a very talented guy. So, And then if you're not going to be a YouTuber, I think you got to do what you're doing exactly as you talked about it, making the friends, making the connections. So like you can just, as you described it, organically go and just sort of like create this buzz. Because not for nothing, like how many people are signed up for your backer kit already?
I think I'm just around 1,800, just under it, I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's absolutely amazing. And that's a testament to, you know, what you've been putting out. Which is also, I think, is evidence that, you know, this like minimalist bullshit is exactly that. Anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, anyway, so that's my take. Like I think you need YouTube is helpful for breaking through, but I think you have to make sure you don't lose yourself. You know, you stay authentic, be honest, do what you like, that kind of thing. That's why I don't edit my fucking shit after all these years, even though I kind of started learning a little bit about it. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. What do I know?
I was gonna add, like, and kind of to piggyback off what you said, like streaming is definitely, or getting on with streamers if you're not a streamer yourself, is definitely a way to build like audience, get noticed. But that's also why crowdfunding is so important. And I see sometimes people, I'm tired of crowdfunding, and you know, I'm so sick. And I get it. I get it. No, I get it. But like honestly, it's a hype builder.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the hype building tools you have. It's like, so like, I mean, imagine if I didn't say anything about Overlords, just released it. Now, if I'm a huge company, it's going to sell a lot of books. I don't need to, right? But like, but you might not know I'm sitting there for, it could be out for 2 years. You wouldn't know about it unless I spend money on ads.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I was actually talking to Dean earlier this week about Zombie Rain, and he just started asking me questions about Living Darkness and all this and some of the other projects. You know, we were kind of talking, commiserating. We have all these ideas and not enough time to write them. But he actually told me, he's like, you should kickstart your next thing, and for that exact same reason. Because like I've been one of those guys who's just like, Kickstarter, do I really? I don't. I could just do this thing and it's fine, and I'll just talk about it when I can. But not for nothing. Out of all the things that I didn't do that with, only one hit copper seller really relatively quickly. And like I said, technically it's silver, and that's my Lamentations thing, but that has the brand behind it. You know what I mean? So I might have to consider, because you're right, it does create hype. Because everyone's like, oh, you know, it's a Kickstarter, but you know, I can put money, you know. So
people do like to spend money, and I will say the thing about crowdfunding and Kickstarter and Backer Kit and all that, there is this whole FOMO thing. And that is very real. Like I feel like I wish, like I would love to have Gods of the Forbidden North in that slip book case. You know what I mean? That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I did miss out. And I feel it. Too. I feel it. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of one of those things where, and this is, you know, I've been saying this forever. I think there are a few people, like I have all your PDFs. I'm a PDF guy. I don't like having a bunch of physical product because it makes me feel weird. But there is this kind of this feeling of, oh shit, I missed it, you know. But it's not for everybody. It's only for the people that I know are doing something really good. And I think what keeps me away from a lot of this stuff is that I don't know who these people are. You know, like you, I know you're going to come through. Matt Tapp, I know he's going to come through. You know what I mean? I know that Chubby's going to come through. But we get some submissions occasionally. I'm thinking of one that had like a comic book theme to it. Do you remember that, Matt? And there was a whole.
Oh yeah. Yep.
There was the what we got, the sort of the pitch we got looked great, but there was no product.
Yeah.
And it was like, bro, we can't put you on.
Right.
Like,
yeah. You know, funny thing is, I probably shouldn't say this. Dude was on someone's. Dude was on someone's.
You'll have to edit it.
Oh, there's no editing here.
Yeah. But I don't know. But the point is, maybe he ended up coming through. But I still stand by our decision because that was a while ago. And so it's like almost a year later, he's finally got, assuming he had something. I mean, I didn't watch it, but I just saw him and I'm like, I remember that guy. But yeah. But that goes back to what Howling Sphinx was saying in the comment to last week's stream. It builds trust, So either you have the YouTube channel where you're a regular, and Rob, we tell you this all the time. You're always welcome here. We love having you on. So
thanks, man.
Yeah,
you proved it. You're proven, and you're bona fide.
And it helped that you bought us a bunch of drinks at North Texas. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Actually, if that dude would have got me drunk at North Texas, we'd have totally had his comic book werewolf bullshit on the program. If he would have just invested a little bit of money in my drunkenness.
Flattery and alcohol will get you everywhere in the second watch.
Well, now me and I don't know if Gary, if you've told it, have you said this? Like I'm actually his DM right now. We were playing every Friday morning.
Well, we've got that Friday morning game is great, man. And I'm sorry you missed it this morning. I know you weren't feeling very well, but I was telling, I actually said it on the show last week that if you can find a way to get into a game before the day is over, right? Like if you can start mid-morning, about 10 o'clock, you know what I mean? 11 o'clock, whatever time it is. If you can get a game in then when you're drinking some coffee,
a croissant,
you got a little something to eat. That is awesome. It is so good. And if you're lucky enough, here's the thing about DMing that I'm learning. Everybody has a different style. I was playing with Chubby in a Thursday night game not too long ago, and he's got his style. And I've been playing with you in this Friday night game. But here's what it's not even confidence, it's enthusiasm, right? When your DM is excited, you know what I mean? When your DM is excited to play a game, hey guys, we're playing. It's like, oh shit, here we go. You know what I mean? Like there's this whole thing about it. There's a lot of games I've gotten into, and even a few that I've ran myself. Yeah, guys, games at 7. I'll see you there. There's not. I sometimes, and especially doing the stream that we do, you can get into this thing where you feel like you have to game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you have to be in a game every week. You have to do these things.
Yeah.
And you don't. You don't have to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Find the good game. Run the game you want to run. Like I'm really excited about this superheroes thing I'm doing. Anyway, Agile Monk, Rob Alderman has done so much good for our hobby.
I love that guy.
We want to grow and see more of. And he humbly pushed forward through many obstacles and stayed positive and kept his sense of humor. Agile, are you drinking? Anyway, Rob, you have, and your attitude's been really great too, man.
Agile, you rock, man.
We should get back to Overlords of Steel real quick because I am curious about a few things.
No, wait, hold on. Before we go back to Overlords and all the business stuff, let me tell you, Gary in our game, he's halfling it up. Okay, he's got old Toby as his backup character, who is a magic user, and he's got his halfling, and he is turning around and he does the disappearance himself, and they're ending the Aurelion's Keep. If anyone that's played Necromancer games, this thing had 37 orcs, an ogre, 2 orc chieftains, and another bad guy who I don't want to tell Gary who it is yet. And Gary went in there with his team, and I have run this scenario because it's the most epic battle scenario I've ever ran, period, in any module. And I will say that till I die. Crucible of Freya is the product from Necromancer. I love this. This is one of my favorite modules of all time. And these guys, and I've actually ramped it up and made it even harder since from the original published version. And I've run this so many times. And in all the systems I ran, 1E, I've ran it in Swords and Wizardry. I'm running an OSC now for Gary. I ran it for 3E, 3.5. I ran it in 5E, of course. I've ran all those editions, okay? I've never had a group in OSC, which is brutal, right? People dying left and right. I've never had a team just like surgeons, like with Gary and his buddies have gone in and they've just wiped out half these orcs without taking a hit. And like I've never seen a group do that, even with like the superhero type D&D games, and it's been a blast. So anyway, this guy is an awesome player, and so are all the other guys that are playing the game. And I started this game on Fridays because exactly what they were saying. It started feeling like a business when I'd play.
Yeah,
and I was like, I just got to get back in the seat and just be like, let's just enjoy ourselves.
I have been doing.
If your business falls apart, I fully expect this game to stay together.
No, it will.
Yeah. I have been doing so many play testing, and like a few years back when I was doing actual plays for the channel, so many one shots, because the whole theme of my channel was I play the game, I record myself playing, and then I talk about it. I got nothing against the flip through review, but I'm
gonna start doing flip through. I'm gonna counter you.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you fucking Gary Milton. But like it got to the point where I'm like, it was it got to the point where it was feeling like a bit of a job. So like actually having an ongoing campaign is nice, and that's part of like the mothership game. I just want to run something. I am going to record it, or not record it, but I am going to live stream it, and I am going to like talk about Mothership, because I got to be honest with you, I absolutely love the game so far. Like what I've been as a game master, not yet running the game yet. I have played it, but man, it's just a nice system. The game, the Warden's reference guide, the Warden's journal there. It's the chef kiss. It's just so good as a game master's guide. So I'm looking forward to running it. And I see Warped Plots in the chat. I hope you're part of my game, dude. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm with you, man. Like, we got to play this game. We got to play it. We can't just sit around and talk. I actually wonder sometimes. This might get me into trouble, but whatever.
Do it.
I see a lot of people who are like, they have their own channel or whatever, right? But then I see them in everybody else's channel like all the goddamn time, and I'm like, when do you have time to play? Are you playing, or are you just watching other people talk about games and then using that as content for your own shit? You know what I mean? And I'm having the exact same response to all these other people who do like actual plays. Or no, I take that back. Before COVID, and during the 5e heyday, there were videos beyond videos. The 5 best cantrips, the 7 builds you must have, And I'm like, are you even fucking playing this game? I'm having the exact same like response to a lot of fucking YouTubers lately, because they're everywhere, and I'm just like, I feel at one point I feel bad because I'm like, should I be in chat more? Should I be guests? But I'm like, no, I got a life to live. And then when I'm not living my life and I'm going to entertain myself, I'm going to go play a game. And then I have my second watch. Does that make sense? People are probably going to think Lord Mattis is an asshole now. Oh, well.
No. I
don't care. It's true.
Two things. First thing is, Rob, I want you to know that I've been searching for the core of Londo's, my halfling's being. Who is Londo? And he's
a hero, Gary. He's a hero.
He might be a hero as portrayed by Joe Pesci in his 80s heyday.
What the fuck is this shit?
I don't know if you remember. Yeah, at some point there was an orc yelling "parlay," and Londo yells back, "Eat shit." Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm not fully committed, but I do think that's kind of where we're going. Also, Matt, you are onto something. There's been a couple YouTubers recently. What is this? Oh shit!
Oh, this is to respond to Chubby's question. What does the surface map look like? I saw the dungeon map on Backer Kit.
Hey, let's talk about your maps, Rob. Can we do that? Is this your map, or is this whose map is this? This is Rob's map.
Yeah, I took a screen. I saw Chubby's question. He was asking about the world
Your
map.
maps are kind of right now, I don't know if there's anyone. I know you. Who do you have working on your maps? Your maps are great. They're always being complimented. They're only going to get better. Tell us a little bit about your maps so we can stop fucking around and joking and laughing and give people some actual
No.
information.
Well, so that map is I made that in Worldographer. That's what I always use to do my maps. I like that program a lot. Worldographer is really fun. And I made that map for the wilderness, and I saw Chubby was asking for, if I had the a copy of the wilderness map. So I threw that out there to Matt so he would be able to throw it up there and show Greg that. But I met a guy named Mark Pileggi at North Texas through a friend, and we gamed together. And I think I told this story on another stream, but basically, like, at the end of our game, he kind of, we were playing together. I was playing like a snotty elf paladin, and he was playing a half orc or something. It was great, but we were having a fun time. And he pulled me aside and he showed me these maps he'd been working on. He had been doing like a room a day, from what he told me. I hope I'm not getting the story totally wrong, but he was like a room a day for like 5 years and sharing this in some chat group somewhere with other guys doing this. Yeah, and he had created this huge mega dungeon map, and I had been drawing my own mega dungeon map for Overlords, and I've been getting into mapping, but that's not my favorite thing to do. I got a couple maps I'm real proud of, but I'm like, that took everything I had, I'm not and someone still needs to go make it look truly pretty and publishable. But I saw Mark's thing, maps, and he was just showing it to me, and immediately I was like, oh my God, somebody needs to publish these maps and turn this into something. So I kind of sideways inquired him without telling what I was thinking at first, and I was like, yeah, are you doing anything with these maps? Kind of like, oh no. And he's just like, I just put like goblins on this room. Right. Yeah, like just for his like home game, for his own. And I was like, yeah. So the next day I saw him, I kind of started bringing it up and seeing how he felt about it. And anyway, we finally have come to an agreement, and so I've purchased the copyrights of his maps, and I just took all my maps. I said, another day, maps. The product after that. These maps are the ones I want to do with the vision I had for this module, and they really, as soon as I saw them, I knew. Like he slid them across the table, and when I looked at them, literally 1 second later, I said, I have to have these maps. It was like they were that cool. And I threw one of them, which was like really forged 17 by 22 inch maps. These are like big ass graphic maps. Like 4 of them together formed this one level, and there are a lot of levels. And like they are just so cool. And I had this whole city that was sort of buried in the ground, this idea already in my head. And when I saw his maps, I knew that's it. Like the things I was drawing weren't really what I was envisioning for this mega dungeon. And so when I was like, that's it, there it is. And I'm so grateful that he was open to basically selling me them. So it's real exciting because this is going to be a huge dungeon. This time it's going to be a mega dungeon that is a full level 1 to 14 mega dungeon. It's not a high level mega dungeon like Gods of the Forbidden North, Castle Tharganon. This is like, you could go there right away if you want, but there are a couple of warm up dungeons that I've drawn, and I did that myself, and I've written that are going to be part of the region. And there's going to be like some cities and some settlements, and there's going to be a lot of like wilderness stuff to do. But yeah, the mega dungeon's kind of like the centerpiece of it, and I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it. And I think a lot of the fans of Gods of the Forbidden North and a lot of the elements of it that they enjoyed, this is going to push things forward. I mean, for those of you that Morcall is like the villain of this one, he's the bad guy, and he's alive. And I don't know, for those of you that haven't read volume 3 yet, you do a little catching up there. So Morcall is back, baby, and Morcall's the bad guy. And it's gonna be awesome.
Fucking
yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
damn. Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? Balor is like a badass, right? But this guy's a proto-troll who's also Amen.
Yeah.
Whose heart is ripped out because he doesn't want to have anything that could turn him from what he's doing. He is like, oh, he's a bad guy. So it's gonna be good. So yeah.
Yeah, I sent the backer kit. I sent the backer kit page to the Iron Price chat group we got, and I said, this is an expansion of the world you guys are in. So when the Iron Price decides to go global and become a global conglomerate as a mercenary company, we're good to go. Which, speaking of which, my buddy, I texted you and I ended up getting sidetracked, but my buddy was asking, does the slipcase come package wrapped or whatever, sealed, if he orders it? Because he wants to have his wife buy it for him for Christmas, and he wants to make sure it's wrapped, so I know that he hasn't read ahead in the books.
Yeah. So yes. Yeah. The standard ones, just that one probably won't be wrapped, but the special edition will be.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Just like the deluxe set. The deluxe set was wrapped.
Yeah.
I've got this black vegan leather version I'm doing that's got like the banded, like really nice, like, you know, ribbed for her pleasure, like binding, you know, like external binding. Yeah, so you're like, you know, it's good, you know. Yeah, it's really nice. And I've been working with MCRL on this, on how to really like amp up this edition for those that want it. And I'm calling it the black, you know, the black signature edition. So it's for those that would want a product like that. But that one's going to be shrink wrapped almost certainly because of, you know, its material and stuff. So
right.
But for those that want that kind of product, it's gonna have gunmetal, like, you know, like how the Bible books will have like the gold like edging. It'll have it's gonna have a gunmetal like edging and yeah.
You do okay, all right, because like, you know, I'm a collector and I'm stupid with my money. I have all 3 books in soft cover and I have all 3 books in hardcover. Now I'm gonna have to buy that. All right. We have a super chat, $10 from Atmost. Off topic. Thank you, sir, by the way. You read some Soldakur's Wake, the type graph and shadow on one rail, Gunta on the other, and you only walk the traces. Merstam really did ship a motherboard and call it leveling. I'm not entirely sure what I just read there. Do you know what he's talking about?
You need to read Soldakur's Wake.
Okay. All right.
So Atmos gave me a copy because he's an awesome dude, and he's the guy who bought me a drink on one of our
I remember that. Yes.
When I was at GaryCon, and he was like not showing his face, and you would just see the hand with the drink.
Yep.
like Dr. Claw or something. Anyway, so like Atmos was really awesome, a generous guy, and he gave me a copy of this game that I had never really heard of called Soldakur's Wake. And I haven't read it all yet, but like as soon as I saw the cover, I was like, that's a really nice book. The cover is really well done. It's a really nicely made book, very thin, black. It's like a science fiction type, far future, really like sort of a heavy science fiction, which I think is really cool. You don't see a lot of that because that's kind of hard to write. And I started reading it. I read a few pages of it, and I was kind of blown away by the world building of this. Like, I was like, whoa. So I haven't had a chance to really sit there and read it from cover to cover yet, but I would highly recommend, just from the little I've read already, if you can get a copy of that book. It is a wild book. It is a wild book. This guy's got an imagination.
I saw that super chat, and all I could think was, only Atmos could have made that super chat.
Yes.
Like, nobody else could have written that for you to understand.
Yes.
Yep.
Actually, Atmos was in the Marvel game I'm running. And man, I just had a lot of fun. Thanks, guys, for being there. I'm looking forward to expanding this and turning it into what it's going to be.
I think, yeah. I think.
So anyway, that's all. Just thank you for being there.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good thing for the server, I encourage everybody, if you're curious about Face Rip, talk to Gary, make a character. If you're a fan of Face Rip, join it. It's something.
Fucking dogs, man.
What kind of dog is that?
Okay, so I have two dogs. One is a Chihuahua. We don't know
I knew
what
it.
mix. His name, we love him, but he is kind of an asshole, and his name is Kanye. And our second dog that we just got recently is called a Chug, which is a half Chihuahua, half pug, and her name is Billie Jean. And she's named Billie Jean because we don't think she's even 3 years old yet, but she's already had 2 litters.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know if you see the
I'm just a pug thinking I am the one.
They're both very.
But the pug ain't myself.
They love us. They love us very much, but they fucking hate everybody else. But the reason they were barking is they were just saying hello to my 16-year-old son who has had his license for about 3 days. And just got back from his outing on Friday night. So, you know, we got big changes in the Lewis house happening. You know what I mean? Big changes. So
we got a comment from Dan, member for 1 month. He's not just a companion watchman; he is the only immortal watchman. He's an immortal partly because I fucked up the whole YouTube Discord thing, but he's also been a big help behind the scenes on Discord. So Dan, thank you very much. But Matt, PDFs aren't shrink wrap. Don't trust your friend. I know.
that's a good point.
Why do you think I drop Lamentations modules in the Gods of the North? I keep them on their toes. One of my favorite moments is I'm using Kelvin Green's Forgive Us while they're taking on the Graven Wolfsgang in Valkengard. The premise of this Lamentations module is a Thieves Guild smuggles in this evil artifact that's going to turn people into mutant zombies or something as a way of getting revenge. They're going to use it to get revenge on the Iron Price, but they inadvertently release it into their Thieves Guild, and so they all become these creatures, which is inspired by John Carpenter's The Thing. So the Iron Price is just kind of going to check it out because, hey, it's a place to explore and make sure the Graven Wolfsgang is completely kaput, and all hell breaks loose. And at one point, there was this moment where everyone just kind of stopped, looked at each other, looked at me, and went, "Is this a Lamentations module?" And I was like, "Yep." Papers and pencils flew up. They're like, "God damn it!" So yeah, it keeps them on their toes, though. That's what I do. So
I think Death Frost Doom. That was one of my. That was one of the It was random module I found.
I put that in there. I put that in Gods of the North. It's going to be hilarious. I
was doing basic fantasy RPG, and then I dropped it in there, not knowing where it was going.
Oh yeah. Well, I love the ending.
It's
and
so good.
It fits so perfectly if people who actually read the lore of Titherian. It actually works. So, my ear trumpet, thank you, sir. I'm too cheap to be MMO. Hey, no, we appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Here we go. Dan, Gods of the North.
Ooh, yeah.
Hyperborea game starts now that I played Hyperborea with you, Dan, for as long as I have, the way it does human ancestries will fit really well with Titherian. So fantastic idea.
I actually, when I was choosing because I was going to be Swords and Wizardries, and that seemed to be sort of out of the picture for a little while. And I was considering systems, like I was like, well, Hyperborea's like the next one I would want to do. And I looked at that, and that was part of the reason, because I was like, maybe I could just go all human, like that was originally my idea. And but he didn't have a license. So I was like,
no, I think he keeps a pretty tight grip.
Yeah,
on things.
No, he does. Yeah,
but I think I don't think that's the worst thing in the world.
No,
it's
no,
because anything you buy that says Hyperborea on it is gonna be really good.
Yeah. And all of his products are really, really great.
Yeah, and and while I think it's great that anybody can write for OSC, anybody can write for Shadow Dark and all that, you do really have to like wade through a lot of stuff sometimes, So, there was a question,
and he is like one of the nicest guys. Like, I'm sure anyone of you have met him, like like Talanian is like, he's the most down to earth creator. Like, he was one of the first ones who ever said hi to me. And he seemed like he meant it, like, like not because like, I don't know, he just every time I've seen him, he remembers me, and he goes out of his way. It's just it's always been really cool.
Well, he's got that, he's completely independent. He does exactly what he wants when he does it. He's not answering anybody else. And I also think his head's kind of in the right place. I'm not saying that anybody else's isn't.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I think people overthink this thing we do. This thing we do is simple. You know what I mean? Right. We play games. Some of us, not me, but some people write for games. It's not supposed to be that deep, I don't think. Of course, I could be wrong. Here I am on my show that I do every week for over a year now, talking about the same shit. So maybe I'm not correct there. What would you? Chubby mentioned, and I don't know if this is something that y'all talked about here. Heard a lot of huffing and puffing about Gods of the Forbidden North, Shadow Dark, something like that.
Shadow Gods of the Dark North. There's your title. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so tired of that damn naming convention. Anyway.
Yeah, y'all got to get away from the shadow, whatever. You gotta figure something out.
Forbidden Dark.
The Forbidden Dark North Shadow Gods. Kelsey, please like my product.
I wrote, like, I got about 80-page script of Gods of Forbidden North conversion to Shadow Dark. I came out with a wilderness system for it.
Oh yeah,
because hers was like really basic in the core, and I was like, and it wasn't really BX like, and I was like, well, I need to make it a little bit more. And that was before her Western Reaches stuff came out, but I have that written. But then what happened was I was in the aftermath of Volume 3's finished, and like I'd spent almost 10 years in this product, and every day I was feeling different weird feelings, like going through the stages of grief. Like one day I'm like, the next day I'm like, yeah.
You were a fucking wreck, Rob. Every time I talked to you at the end of that, I think I talked to you about 3 times when you were wrapping that up. And every time I talk to you, I'm so finished. It's over. I'm done. And I call you like a month later. I'm finished now. Now I'm really finished.
Yeah, dude, it was. It took like 6 months for me to like, because I mean, like every day I was like totally feeling a different way about what even I was even going to do this anymore. Like seriously, there was one point where I sat down, my wife, and was like, I think I'm done. I think I'm going. I think that's it. I'm gonna Luke Skywalker original ending, original Return of the Jedi ending, and just walk off. Like, screw Leia and the new the new Republic. I'm out. Like I was good because that was the original script. Anyway, so like versus the Ewok stuff. But anyway, like so I turned around and was like, but finally I had been working on that, and I said, you know what? I got to get out of the Forbidden North. I got to just move on. I got to just get out of this, not necessarily the world, but like this product, this book. I've been there, and the longer it is that I'm getting further away from it, the less and less I'm like, I don't think I'm ever going back. Like,
Yeah.
like
No,
I'm
that's
just
good.
I'm just like, not even like an anniversary, like let me go try to make more money off this. Like the idea of sitting down with 1,600 pages, I'm just like, no. Like, no.
That's
So
but
now
what you
it's
do.
yeah,
What you
it's
do, you get to a point where you hire somebody to go back to Gods of the
I
Forbidden
don't
North for you.
I don't even want to do that. Like I just want to like leave it where it is, the way it was, whatever its problems, and
Man,
just let it be a
No,
relic.
man. Yeah, no,
I
man.
actually,
Let it
I'm really
be. No,
glad to
Yeah.
hear
man. Let
you
it
say
be.
that.
Let it be
I'm-
your freaking Twisted Sister Stay
Yep.
Hungry album. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
I love that album to death. It was the first thing that I got. I was literally 5 years old, and I was like, I'm a freaking metalhead. This is me. And Gods of the North is going to be that for the young gamers. It's to be like, there's some rough edges, I guess you could argue, nitpick, whatever, but goddamn, this is awesome. I'm like, my players are invested at this point. Even the ones, because the vacation I was just on last week, like every family friend that was there was as a member of the Iron Price, and so we were sitting around talking. And I'm like, "Oh, we're good," They're like, "Fuck yeah, this is great." And they started talking about like future, like we just got to hit 9th level so we have followers, and then we can use our followers to go do dungeon delving. And I'm like, troop play! Oh my god, my players finally discovered troop play. So yeah, no, go on and keep doing things, man. I want Overlords of Steel, and then I want the next part of your world, and then I want the next part of your world. Just keep going, brother. Just keep going. I want to take all the maps and put them together and create a globe.
No, I agree.
That's awesome, man.
we had it, Rob. Me and you were talking one day, and you were like, and what if I just made everything? I took. What if I translated it to 5e? What if I did Shadow?
I remember those. Yes.
Do you remember that? I think you were there for one of them. And it was just like, Rob, maybe you should do something else. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I was really worried. Like, fuck, Rob's going to burn out. Gods of the Forbidden North is going to kill him, So hearing you be like, I want to do new things. That makes me feel really good, Rob. I'm glad that's where you're at. I still think you should do like a monthly pamphlet, and I think you should edit an OSR magazine, but we'll talk after the show. Like I said, if I could plan your career, we'd both make a lot of money, but whatever.
See how he operates?
Let's do it.
We got a question from our good friend, the only immortal Watchman.
Word.
Rob, will Ian Bagley be providing more artwork for Overlords of Steel?
So I don't know right now, and it's because it's all full color. I'm going, like I was joking earlier, plaid. I'm going full color with this book, but Ian Bagley's all of his fantasy work he does with what do you call it, charcoal or whatever. I'm not an artist. Wait. I don't know what pencils are. What do you guys? Yeah. No, but he actually, I don't know if you guys know, he's actually like a professor up in like Canada, like an art professor. And you can go look at his portfolio, and he's got like all this nothing to do with Hyperborea or like portraits of like people. Like you're like he's sitting there like the naked person comes in, and him and his students, like
right.
He does all that, but that's all of his color like painting work. So I don't know, like, does he even do? I don't think I've ever seen any of his fantasy art that was color. So I'm sure he could, but would he? I don't. So if he does, abso-freaking-lutely. Ian Bagley was the first artist I spoke to and hired. Gary Trow, who's doing most of the art for this book, is the second one. And I didn't think Ian Bagley would even return my email. I thought he would ignore me. Because like, who the hell's this guy? And he came back. He was so pleasant. So he's really funny too. He's like really, really inappropriately funny. I can't tell any of his jokes. He did. Of course, his the reason I saw him was because I was a huge fan of Hyperborea. The old ASSH. Sorry, can get my acronyms right. You know, because I've been following it for a long time, like a lot of you, and you know, obviously his work is, to me, that was when I was trying to hire an artist, I was like, the only way people are going to take me seriously is I have really good art on my Kickstarter page. I'm like, because they're just gonna be like, who the hell is this idiot, right? And so I was like, who would that be? And the first person I thought of, Ian Bagley. I was like, nothing like Hyperboreus stands out. That's one of the first things that made it stand out before I read a word was his artwork, you know. And like I was like, oh my gosh. And some of the guys he gets on the cover, you know, that aren't Ian, but I remember Ian Bagley was the one that popped in. And I was like, I'm gonna reach out to that guy. I'm doing black and white. I know he does it. Let's see if maybe he'll get back to me. And he did. He got back to me real quick. He was not expensive like I thought he would be. Like he was very responsive, and he was a real pleasure to work with. So I got him to do work on all 3 volumes, of course. You know, and he did different. I think the second one, he was the one he did the least amount of work for. But he was real busy at that time, but he was able to do that Sharg spread where like the berserkers in the middle of the tunnel and all the Sharg are chewing on their faces. He's like, do you want more face chewing, Rob, or less? I'm like, let's do it up. But anyway, yeah, no, Ian was great. So I don't know would he do color? That would be awesome. I'd be totally on board with it, but I don't know if he does. So I'll have to ask him. So right now, I do only have one artist right now that I'm working with. I'm trying to do Gary because I love Gary's work, and I'm trying to get. I know Gary does full color because he's done it for me in the past. So I want him to be like the guy who does like 60 to 70% at least of the artwork in the book, so it has like a single look. And he works for Mongoose, and he does all the new Traveler art. I don't know if you've been following those products. He's doing the art for that stuff. So Gary's fantastic. Gary's the second guy I ever hired. One of my favorite art pieces, actually, in all the Gods of the Forbidden North books, one of them, and he did many of those, was actually the one of the lake where there's like a tower, and in the distance you see the castle, and there's like this mist. And I was like, that's what I saw in my head when I first thought of this crazy book. Like, but anyway.
Just highlighting something Dan just posted. I love the picture he made of party of adventurers advancing on Castle Tharganon with the dire wolf in their way.
Yeah, it was baller.
Yeah,
that was really good. Gary, another one Gary Trow did, which actually probably to me was his best one. That I think when I saw it, I was like, that's immaculate. Is the one, if you go to, I think it's chapter, it's the central Darbendor central tower of Gods of the Forbidden North, and it's like there's these gargoyles on the side of the tower. That shot is just incredible. Like that is a beautiful image. And just Gary's incredibly talented, but Ian, Gary, all the guys I worked with really had some incredible styles that I was so pleased and honored to have worked with. That was like one of the fun parts, to be honest with you. That's the fun part of making a book, by the way, is like after you do all the boring writing stuff, you know, you're like, all right, artists, you geek out because you start telling them all about your nerdy stuff, and they're like, you're trying to paint a picture for them, and they're just like, and then you're
I'm gonna do it my way, right. And you're gonna say yes, okay.
And you're like, and then you start to say, as you tell them, you start thinking, this sounds dumber than I used to think it would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then they come back with the first draft, and you go, oh my god, it's cooler than I ever could have imagined.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, that's like always the first time I saw my book with the art and the layout together, like literally I teared up, like not to be a big web, like I totally, because it was just like you'd seen it in a manuscript, and then when you see it, like, and it's just like it's not yours anymore. It doesn't feel like, it feels like you just bought it. Like it's the weird feeling. It's just a weird feeling, and it feels that way every time. That has never faded. Every time I saw Glenn Seal come back with all the art assembled, it's like, what book is this? And you don't, it doesn't feel like it's your book. Like it's really weird. So that's a kind of a weird experience, because you're like, it almost feels like you're reading it for the first time as a fan. Yeah. And that's actually one of my favorite parts of doing this. That little go ahead.
Well, on that feeling that you're just describing, is this like something that is that feeling
Worth the money?
Well, not even just worth the money, but like worth like. Obviously, that will help propel you onto the next project, right? But is that feeling also one of the reasons why you might feel the need to look back and be like, can I change this? Can I fix this? Because you see it as sort of a purchaser, right? And you're like, oh, this is great, but you're also the guy behind it. So as you're just like, yeah, this is great, but there's that but right in the back of your head, and you're like, okay, I could do this better, I could do that better.
I actually, that phase of the development, to me, I was so excited every single time. It was never different. I didn't cry on 2 and 3, but I cried on 1. Like, yeah, it was like one of those man cries where you're like, a little tear comes down. You're like, oh, it just got something in my eye, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but like
the Native American turns to the camera,
right? No, right? Like
yeah.
I did. Yeah. No, it's Wayne's World pops up. No, it's like, no,
but I never learned to read.
No, it got me every time though that happened. You're so moved by that, and it's like that for a couple of days. It's like a week of this where you're just kind of in a glow. You're like, yeah. I would just be like in the middle of class doing my day job, and I would be like, some student would start asking me a question, and I would just slowly mute them down in my mind, and like I'd open the PDF and just skim. this you know. So, you know, I didn't think anything about any of the flaws at that point. Like, it just, unless I saw some typo, and then I'd be like, Glenn, oh my God, I gotta fix it. You know, like that.
Right.
That's it. Like, but other than that, it was just like, no, this is, because it looks so much better than I could have ever imagined every single time. And so you kind of stop seeing the rough edges. You know what I mean? Like, you just go, whoa, like, and
yeah,
it's a crazy experience. It still hits me every now and then. Like, I haven't read, like, I got a question earlier today in my Discord, and it was about Morcall's Tomb. And one of the people in the Discord was asking a question about how a trap worked or something. And so I was like, oh, I kind of remembered the answer, but I mean, I wrote that dungeon like years ago.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I don't remember exactly. So I go pull out the book so I can sound like I knew from the beginning, from the moment I saw it, you know. So I open it up and I go to. And
obviously,
I'm looking at volume 1. I haven't cracked open volume 1 in a little while. It's been a little while. Last time I cracked open volume 1, I was running through it to make sure I wasn't missing any of the lore threads I wanted to add to or add in 3 when I was finishing the manuscript and going back over it. And that was a lot of work. That took like a month of going through 1 and 2 and like writing any piece of lore that I was like, ooh, that might be a loose thread I need to maybe put in here if I want to solve it. So I hadn't looked at 1 in a while, and I'm opening up and I'm reading Morcall's Tomb, and it's like, it's been like 5 years since you know, like, a lot of people are playing it now. I wrote that a long time ago, and I'm going through it, and I like had forgotten a lot of it. So, you know, like, you get this sort of psychic distance from your own work, and it kind of hit me again. I wrote this, like, because I couldn't remember something, you know, like, and then I'm like, what was I thinking here? but like, then it kind of, then that magic returned. Like, I got that magic where it was like, I wrote this, but it didn't feel like it. And that's always that's exactly what you feel when your layout guy shows up and shows you the first work in progress of your draft, even when it's not finished, and you see it, and it's like,
sure.
You know, I don't know. It's crazy. It is an amazing feel. That's one reason to do this, even if you don't make a dime.
Well,
it's so awesome.
You know, on that point of like looking back on like what you did before, you know, do you see growth? Like, do you like look at Morcall's Tomb, for example? You know, something you haven't worked on in years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And think, oh, you summer child, like, now I would, you know, this is how I would do it now. Not in a way like, oh, I screwed up and I got to fix this. No, you're happy with what you did, but there is definitely growth. Like, do you see that when you look at what you've done before?
There are two sides of that coin. The first is, yeah, you're like, okay, wow, like I've really come a long way. Like that's like, I'm thinking of things I did in 3 and versus how I did them in 1. And so in that sense, it's encouraging. But there's also like a negative side where you start getting like jaded and more business-like. And that actually starts driving some of your decisions. And that's you need to do that. But what happens is like I'm reading me when I didn't think of this as a business. And there's a certain magic to the writing, even when it's unpolished, even when it's like, oh, I would do this differently, that like you'll sometimes catch yourself losing at this stage. And that's a reminder. Oh, that's why I started running the game with Gary. Because I was like, I need to get back to my roots. And there's only one of I have one giant root that's bigger than any other root. And that's running Rapanathuk, the Dungeon of Graves.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We talked about this.
We have not entered yet. But we have found 1 or 2 entrances on a map. I really want Londo to live. So I don't know if we should go too soon. Anyway, I'm excited. I've never played that. I've never read it. I've never looked at it. Twice. Anyway.
I've been in Rapanathuk twice back in the 3E days. I can't remember which playthrough it was, but my half-orc barbarian got possessed by something and I killed half the party before they killed me. That was awesome. And then there was the other time.
That was a positive ending. For the
yes, yeah. And then there was another time we like got into some room. I don't know where we were. There were mirrors everywhere. And then fucking ogres just started pouring into the room. Yeah, that was a TPK. So I don't even know where that was. I can't even remember. But anyway, Rapanathuk is no fucking joke. I love Rapanathuk.
Okay, dude, this is my nostalgia train. Like I'm sitting there in basic training. You get to bring your little suitcase. And what happened was I'd cleaned out my grandmother. She was like 93-year-old's house before I went to basic. I helped my dad do this in Virginia before I went back home to Florida. And then they shipped me out to MEPS and everything. And I went to Fort Benning, Georgia. Right. And like, so I go and I got my little suitcase. So I got my grandmother's, one of her suitcases. I don't even know how. My dad was like, you might need this. You know, they get all emotional after, you know, they pass and they're giving you some of their things. And he gives me this like 1940s, 50s looking suitcase. It was like, like one of those like restored cars you see, and you're like, oh, that's the coolest looking car ever. So it was this brown, like businessman suitcase. You don't even see him make it like this anymore. And it had like the steel, like clips and everything. And so I'm like, oh, I can put my stuff in there before I go to basic, right? So I put all my stuff in there and I'm like, I have a little more room. So I grab Necropolis by Necromancer Games. I grab Rapanathuk 1, 2, and 3, the old soft cover, the original pure version before the awesome roll reloaded. I got those 3. I got Crucible, Freya, Wizard's Amulet. I put them in there, and I think I got it was either Lost City of Brachus or it was Vault of Larencar. I think it was Vault of Larencar, but it could have been Brachus. I don't remember now. But I put them in there. I was able to just fit them in there, and I was like, I know I'm not going to be able to read them at basic, but when I get to AIT, I'll be able to read them. And sure enough, you know, they vanished. I forgot they were in there the whole time. I'm just doing push-ups and dying all day. And then we get to AIT Fort Useless, Virginia. Old 19, like World War II barracks. So like, you're like, oh my God, how are these not condemned? And they're like, here's your bunk, idiot. So they, throw it in there. And I get my old briefcase, and finally I've been carrying it. I open it up, and guess what's there? Orcus with his wand. the fat gluttonous Orcus, the best Orcus. And I'm like, yes! And I'm like, I haven't read anything, I've been totally disconnected. So first thing I'm reading is like Necropolis, this death trap dungeon, Rapanathuk. And this, by the way, is why Gods of Forbidden North kills all your player characters. Because these texts were foundational to Rob's design understanding. He understands nothing else. But yeah, dude, there I was, 21 years old, man. That was what, 2003 or 4. It was right around the spring offensive. I was when I enlisted. It was 03, October 03, but I actually left. It was January 04 because it was really freaking cold at Fort Benning. I remember they would take us outside and the wind was really killer. And Oh God. Anyway, we can tell stories, man, all day.
We got a super chat from Atmos, another $10. Thank you, sir. Rob, Overlords of Steel.
Yeah.
Is Invidium the plot, or is Excessid Mordax the plot? And the steel is just why every faction is already inside the dungeon when the party arrives.
No, the Invidium is the major plot. Yes. There is a large vein of cosmic steel, sort of like the mithril of my world, that has been discovered, and it's inside this huge lost city called Exazid Mordax. And but that Exazid Mordax mega dungeon is kind of on the hinterlands. It's in the middle of the salt and volcanic waste, where the enormous seven-headed dragon Jagulga stomps about in a rampage. Is salt formation, like crystals growing off it that cause it pain, that bursts through its skin. And one of its heads has been cut off and is a stump. And the dragon kind of storms the area. No one knows why. And what happens is this dragon was sort of, I've talked about this a little bit before. I was inspired by Bowser's Fury, the video game, because I played it with my son, who's 6 years old.
Yeah.
And Bowser's Fury in the game, for real quick, for those who don't play it, like, it's this real 3D Mario game. But what happens is you start and Bowser appears, and he's like 800 feet tall. He's like Godzilla. And he's like this boss environmental character that jumps in, attacks. You got to like kind of like outlast him and avoid him until he goes away. Or you have to find a cat shine, because there's like cats everywhere. Cat Mario. You got to get a cat shine that chases him away. But the whole game, it's one of the things that I thought was so cool about this was that the big boss isn't the guy you finally get to at the end. He's there from the very first scene, and he's constantly harassing you, and he gets stronger and tougher and harder. That was sort of the beginning of Jagulga. And what happened was Jagulga sort of like became like this, I want this sort of environmental presence that's like, that players can use to their advantage when they can start to master it. They can learn how to turn Jagulga to their enemies. They can, because if they can get that far and learn that much, but the dragon won't stay static either. Things will change the more they do, and throw a wrench in their plans. And you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil too much, but obviously I'm not just copying Bowser exactly the way he was. But that's the inspiration, because those mechanics don't translate to a tabletop very easily. Some of them, and I don't want him constantly showing up in a way that would disrupt the game, and make it where you can't play it. So some of the ideas I came up with was like, based on where you are in the wilderness, there's like zones based on Jagulga. Like he's down here in the south, and there's like 3 or 2. Right now it's 3 zones. I might collapse it to 2. I'm debating on the design, but I'm thinking 3 is going to be great. And what happens is, if you're mostly in the settled areas, when the Jagulga, when you roll the Jagulga die, the Dragon Fury die, what happens is the weather changes. Something happens. Natural disasters occur. Strange red death clouds of disease attack little settlements, just sort of wash over them or near them. And you feel the dragon's presence, but you don't see it. When you get to like zone 2, you might catch like a silhouette glimpse of it in the distance, in the middle of a thunderhead, as the thing the electricity is dancing and arcing along the clouds. There'll be a flash of a shape. And and people will say the dragon stirs, and they always look to the south. It's like, and then when you get in that zone 3, you might run into him.
Right.
And so it's a sprint to the mega dungeon and back, because he usually can't fit into it. So he's this constant threat, and there's going to be multiple ways to take him out, but they're going to be really hard. And so like, if you want to go slug it out with him, you're probably going to die, but you could pull it off, but it's not easy. There's other ways to deal with him that aren't necessarily killing him. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff, and that he's not actually the big boss though. He's just this threat and this. Yeah. But really, Morcall is the true villain of the entire thing, which you may not realize right away. And really, it's going to be all about him and the Verlakia, which are these entities from the stars. So it's kind of moving, kind of adjacent to some of the lore you kind of touched on, that was really small peas, small potatoes, and gods. But now that's kind of being brought to more of the center. And there'll be touches of the old lore.
Yeah.
Like but it's not like it's just sort of indirect. You know what I mean? Like we're moving into a new sort of phase. So
How much of so like all right, so Gods of the Forbidden North starts with players arriving into Therian, Vulcangard, and like the way I ran it, the Hadean Empire's fall was really recent, like years ago, and there's just all this civil war. That's kind of like how I describe it. But in your book, it's like 40 years. So how much of that, like, is this area part of the Hadean Empire, or is it outside the Hadean Empire, or
God's Tytherian is it's like 20. I want to say it's like 20 or 21 years. I think it's almost exactly 20 years since the fall of the Empire. But this book is 42 years later.
Okay.
So it's about 20 years after the events, theoretically, of Gods of the Forbidden North. But I kind of been careful not to call it a sequel because I don't want people to think they have to have gods to know what the heck's going on.
Sure, yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
But it's the same world. So, I guess Elder Scrolls got away with it 2, 3, 4, but you didn't really need the one before it. but this is you don't need that. It's freestanding. It's going to give you everything you need in the book, like to know everything you need to run here. But if you have that God's material for reference, like you'll know just more than what the average person who just has Overlords have. That makes sense. But it won't affect the ability to run it or play it, enjoy it, So yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I just love what you did, and like because like the way it's presented in Gods of the North, it's like all this like presumed stuff. So and it's mysterious. You just get like a couple lines. Yeah, the Empire has fallen, and you have like this, and people are refugees showing up in Vulcangard, and to me that's enough to titillate the imagination and get like the adventure going as people are going into this vast northern expanse. So I was just curious as to what where you were going to go in terms of the lore. So that's cool though. That's cool. I saw a comment.
It's gonna be a lot more Duvenid, like what I call demi-human lore. I'm gonna develop the Wujan a little bit more into more of a coherent culture that you discover there's more to.
Okay.
Not really retconning what was there before, but just like where they were, that's all they knew about them. So you're gonna find out more. I'm introducing the Iberians, who are another culture who actually get mentioned in the very epilogue of Gods of North 3. And I actually had them in Gods, but cut them for space, which now at this point, what the hell was I thinking? I mean, what's another 5 pages, right?
That's how it starts, Rob. We know you.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna have a calendar now, like because I cut that from volume 1, like the calendar is gonna be in there. And then the local spin on it, like stuff like that. So there's going to be like celestial conjunctions, and it's going to actually be a lot more, a little bit more framework from the hit. So I'm going to actually explore a lot more of the Empire, even though it's later. It's actually going to have a lot more of that architecture there. So that's going to be interesting. But the Invidium is going to be a big part of the plot. To go back to that question, the Invidium, it's like a giant mithril vein in Lord of the Rings. Like we found an Invidium vein, and it's kind of concentrated for some strange reason around this mega dungeon, which seems to be a strange lost city that no one really knows much about, and they just kind of know it's there. and no one goes there because of the dragon, but someone finds Invidium, and the 2 overlords in the region are vying for control of the Invidium because they want to kill each other, and they're both not great people. And so the Overlords of Steel are trying to fight it, and the players are going to enter into this situation. It's actually going to be a lot different than Gods in that the Hadean temple here is underground. The Overlords have mostly outlawed and go and kill anyone that's a Hadean temple worshiper. It's going to be a very different feel from Tytherian. These settlements are actually going to be very dangerous because it's like going into the Empire's backyard from Star Wars. You go,
sure, yeah. You have an empire that's collapsed, right? So now it makes sense that you'd have dudes with political power, military power taking control. When I hear 2 overlords vying for control of a vein of ore, I go, That sounds like a job for the Iron Price. My God, they would just thrive there. That's fantastic. I just wanted to Techno Babbles comment. I'm an awful person making my wife watch the whole show on our TV. You know what? I hope she becomes a member. And
we
then
have memberships for sale. And
I know we do.
We have merch.
And we do.
Wife.
Atmos, $2. Does Nvidium have an id ego? Ooh. Are you going to be giving away stuff if you answer this question?
No, I don't want to get too much. Nvidium is described in volume 2, and like in terms of where it comes from and stuff. Like, and it's like this side thing that's in the Green Dome of Pharanadoth. If you look at that chapter, and it has to do with the Serpent Men, Zarkith, and there's like this weird demented group of Serpent Men. Well, you're going to deal with the real Serpent Men, like the non-demented, just the straight up cold, calculated evil ones, who were inspired by the Sword of Rhiannon, Lee Brackett's novel that I read a long time ago, and I love Lee Brackett. And so Nvidium is sort of like they understand Nvidium and how to make it and turn it into all these ray guns and weapons and things like that. The pseudoscience that from the golden age of fiction, right, of pulp fiction. But those elements are going to be very tightly controlled and very rare despite this, because only the overlords really control them, which is why they're the overlords. And so like they have a couple of like Nvidium powered airships, like, you know, kind of like they have like ray guns. They have like sort of these Ionisis swords, which, you know, that's a Jedi sword. You know, all the stuff you want to be in your D&D game, but you're like, you've been holding back.
The cool shit.
Yeah,
the
right.
Cool shit.
But only like the royal guard, so to speak, has it. You know, like it's kind of a tightly controlled. The authorities have it, and they use like technology to oppress everyone around them. so there's definitely themes of that, but they are actually influenced. The overlords themselves are human, and they're influenced by the Zarkith, like because they actually serve them. That's how they got the technology, and they act like they themselves found it, created it, whatever. But really, they're all both just serving the Serpent Men. And so, there's a lot of that going on too. So there's a lot of bad in this campaign. Not that there wasn't in the first one, but the settlements are no longer places of safety like they were. It's more like the hill country cave people, or where you have to go kind of hide out because they're the natives who will get destroyed or enslaved or whatnot. And you know what I mean? Like, but they're the ones who actually are keeping the Hadean temple faith alive in a funny way. So there's a lot of that kind of, it's definitely a flipped kind of setting kind of dynamic. And I thought that would be more exciting, and it would drive players like, you know, to kind of go and do stuff.
Oh yeah, no
more hanging out. None of this hanging out Iron Price stuff in the urban center. None of that.
Whoa. My characters have gone to war in Valkengard. They have literally not left. Like they haven't came. I think they hit Skullberg once. They just recently learned about Kinkle, right? So they have not gone very far
Kinkle.
Kinkle, I think it's.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
I thought you said Kinkle, like Kinkle.
But yeah, no, all their adventuring is taking place in Valkengard. It's crazy. But yeah, well, that's interesting, and I think that actually sounds frankly awesome. I love that kind of shit.
I need to interject real quick. We've been doing this show over a year now, Rob. I think you've been on. You're with like Chubby and BK Gibson in the number of times that you've been on. Friend of the show. We love you guys. But you can always tell when something's good, like when we have somebody really good on, because I don't get to say shit. Matt is like, so what are you gonna do with this? And what are you going to do with that? And so for anybody that might be new to the show, nobody's new to the show right now. But if you haven't been here a long time, this is a testament to how much people are enjoying Rob's Gods of the Forbidden North and looking forward to everything else. Because I'm just sitting here listening to two geeks talk, and I'm getting about half of what they're saying. You know? So I hope you're not spoiling anything for our adventures on Friday morning, but you've already said that none of this is making it into our game. Is that what you've told me? Is that the way it works?
Oh, our game is all Bill Webb fantasy, baby, with Rob Aldermanisms. Yeah, don't worry about that.
All right.
You have your own set of challenges awaiting
I'm like,
you.
I'm like listening intently. Is there something I should know to pass on? Nope, not at all.
Don't go down the well. By the way, cool story that I just found out. One of my backers apparently, like, this is the type of stuff that happens. You're like, oh my God, right? Like, you dork out. Apparently, one of my backers reaches out to me. I don't think I've ever talked to him before. Maybe once. I can't remember, And he tells me that he's in a game in Bill Webb's home game, right? Like, like, wait, what? So, like, you just told me that now? What are you talking? You fool! Like,
yeah, right.
Like Goku yelling at him. Like, anyway, so he tells me that I've got 2 Easter eggs like for Bill Webb in Gods of Forbidden North Volume 1. Like, I've got, like, I don't want to say where they are, but so he found one of them. And he didn't know about the other one. And he went and he told Bill. Bill was laughing because they got that one. And then he comes back and he tells me about it. I was like, yes, victory! Like, years in the making, I had buried it in there, 5 years later. It's like, at last, the plan has come together. Anyway, and I was like, why doesn't Bill give me a call and talk to me over Panda 2 for 5 hours? That's the only reason I did this. Damn it! like I just want to sit there. Oh, Bill, tell me about Area 2AF again. And he's probably like, oh my God, come on.
Well, we got about 7 minutes left. I think we've answered almost all the questions that came up, except for Chubby digging at us asking, Rob, how could Lord Mattias and Gary improve the show? You don't have to answer that, Rob. I think our show is great.
No. Yeah. So here's what I think. My 5-point plan. Gary is already doing it. He's got the glasses on again from last episode. So, I mean, we are now at optimal second watch, right? Like, dude, we are ready to go.
I'm struggling with the glasses.
Dude, I love them. No, you got to keep them, dude. Do at least 3 episodes.
You gotta make sure they're down like this.
I used to be cool. About 10 years ago.
And whenever you pick
cool
up a book
that
you're gonna review,
I used to wear boots.
You gotta do something like this.
Play guitar in a bars plural. I weighed less. I was a really cool guy.
According to YouTube, whatever their algorithm bullshit, we appeal to ages 24 to 34. So.
Not anymore with these motherfuckers.
Hold on. I have to join.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
There it is.
There it is. 45 to 65.
Is there any last thing you'd like to say, Rob? We got about 6 minutes.
Oh, sure. Okay, real quick. Here's my little stupid pitch. Overlords of Steel, 400 plus pages, full color, OSR, Mega Dungeon complete campaign, level 1 to 14. It's compatible like BX and OSC always with pretty much any OSR system. And here's the thing. If you go in there now and follow the Project Now backer kit, you can, if you just follow the project, you actually get 8 full color digital VTT maps that my brother did for me that turned the Tesseract of Time maps from the very last chapter, Gods of Forbidden North, turns those like epic battleground maps with who turn those into full color maps for me. And he's incredibly talented. I just discovered this like 12 months ago. I didn't know he did any of this stuff. It's so weird, right? But so my little brother did this for me, and I'm offering them as a free digital download. If you just follow the project, you have no commitment required. And you could use those obviously for anything, but they're really cool, like labyrinth-like maps. They're like kind of battle maps. They're very cool. And if you actually want to throw $1 in, you'll get a free adventure called Beyond the Black Earth. Obviously, that's a throwback to Eye of Jakara, one of the first chapters of Gods of Forbidden North Volume 1, because this is actually the sequel or the prequel dungeon where they found the Eye of Jakara itself. and it is a low-level, first-level dungeon. This is actually the players found this together and then went to Titherian. Except the way we're going to write this module is that you could go to Titherian or you could go to the Overlords of Steel,
Nice.
and the Eye of Jakar is going to fit into this one. So
Nice.
depending on which way you want to go. So for those of you that want a different or interesting kind of like backstory type adventure, where it's literally going to be a very Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You're at the door of the dungeon, go. That's kind of how it's written. So yeah, so you get that for $1 for free. If you just throw in $1 now and then you pledge on, whenever you want to during the campaign launch. So, easy, free 20 plus page adventure. So
Word.
Let's do it. September 8th, baby. Tuesday, 11 a.m. I'm going to do the Ride of the Rohirrim. like I always do.
Are you making it? Are you doing anything special for launch? Are you on any website, podcast?
I don't have one, man. I'm not cool like you guys.
Matt, give me the keys. I'll do a live stream. 11. We'll do it. We'll do it. Give me the keys
What
to
day
the
is
car. What day is that?
It's blowing up on a Tuesday, man.
It's on a Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Club is blowing up.
Hey, Rob, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Maybe Dad will let me take the car out.
I might be open to this. Probably helps that I'm halfway through a bottle of bourbon, but
he wakes up the next morning. What have I done?
Anyway,
why would I let him do it? Oh my god!
No. I think look, if Gods of the Forbidden North, the trilogy, I can't even fucking speak at this point. If the trilogy has intimidated you, let me tell you right now, what I'm hearing about Overlords of Steel, this is totally worth it. You're gonna have everything all in one book. I'm looking forward to it. I absolutely love the lore. I've fallen in love with this world. I can sit there and gush about this all night, but I'm rooting for you, man. This is gonna be a great Kickstarter, dude. People need to back this. This is gonna be great. The trilogy is fucking awesome. I love that you're expanding the world. Fucking people got to take a look at this. It's gonna be awesome. It just will be.
It's Rob, I was joking earlier about I think I don't remember if I was writing it or whatever, but we have had things come into us and we're like, ugh.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely no hesitation in like saying, Rob, anytime you have something to sell, let us know. The excitement that Lord Mattias has when he talks about his campaign and the Iron Price. And what's crazy is it's not the only one. We've got Chubby that's run that. Yep. We've got, there's any number of
Dan's starting to run one. Yeah.
Dan is starting to run one. So proof is in the pudding, right? As they say, the people that we respect really respect and seem to look up to you a little bit. So once again, Rob, I wish you all the luck in the world. And I think you're going to do great. And if you cancel another Friday morning, then the next stream, I'm going to talk about what the fuck happened to him. Remember when he used to write? He used to be really fucking good, man. Yeah. I don't know.
This guy's got this piece of shit Kickstarter that he's
got. Do not miss Friday, motherfucker.
You gave up on life, didn't you?
Done.
Best movie.
I can already tell as the end of the project rolls around, I'm going to be like the night before the game, Rob, you're good, man. Everything's going to work out. Everything. You know what'll make you feel better? Run a game in the morning, Rob. Everything's going to be okay.
I want to go do tech writing for a living. Yeah.
Nah, it's going to be good. And I'm really excited. So yeah, thanks for being here. You are a friend of the show. Anytime you want to drop in. The only reason I will tell you one thing, last week, about an hour into the show, it dawned on me that we could really use a third person, right? And I thought, man, Rob's in chat. And then I was like, Rob will be here next week. Maybe that's not the best idea. And then we started talking about OSC. I was like, Dan did the video. Send Dan, you know what I mean, real quick. But seriously, anytime you have something to say, something to sell, please let us know. All right. We love having you here.
Thanks, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, no worries.
I always love hanging with you guys, man. Let's
Awesome.
kill some more. Let's kill some orcs, Gary.
Bro, I can't wait. I got plans. Londo is taking over the fucking world, man. You don't even know yet. It's anyway. Sorry.
Well, with that said, any last questions from chat? We have a couple minutes here, not that, like maybe 2.
No, we don't. We're 11:31.
Is it 11:31? Oh,
It
okay. Well, never mind, Chad.
31.
Gary says, "Screw you."
Screw you, Chad.
Thanks for your money, members. Anyway,
we got merch, motherfucker. We got merch. We got memberships. Buy now. Everything must go.
With that said, actually, on a serious note, we're actually trying very hard not to have ads during the replays and whatnot. So we really do appreciate the super chats and the membership, because that's what's keeping the lights on, to quote Tenkar. So we do appreciate y'all. The chat was great tonight. You guys were fun. Great questions. Thank you for the super chat. Next week, we're going to have Matt Tapp on to talk about Barrow Mail, his recent product. Looking forward to that. Hope to see you in chat. We got more stuff coming up. If you're interested in playing Face Rip or Mothership, get into the Discord server. The link will be in the description.
I will say this. I'm only going to have about 5 to 6 people at the table when I run this game all the time. Memberships get first pick. Not to be a dick, but this is it's a capitalist country, baby. I'm a material girl and all that good shit, right? Like, here's the real deal, guys. You got to understand. We listened to you. Ads started coming in, and we got complaints. People didn't like the ads. They don't like them during the live stream. They don't like them during the replay. They don't like them in our videos. I don't like them either, guys. But we do have to keep the lights on, and I got to pay for North Texas somehow. So, memberships, merch, super chats, we thank you all very much. Rob is gone.
That's because you took too long selling the shit. No, I'm just
sorry,
kidding.
Rob.
No, he probably had to take a bath. He probably had to use the bathroom.
I'm sure that's what it is.
It's hard building worlds.
Oh,
there it is. Oh,
very nice.
Well, I hope to see you in chat next week there, dude. But yeah, guys, it's been great. Next week, there'll be a great conversation. Matt Tapp's another one who's a regular, always welcome.
He's a real one.
But I guess our watch is ended, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
See ya.
Thanks for being here.
It's funny, apparently.
Can I fart now?